Episode 102. Episode 102. And we're streaming. Like, we're back on the air again. Like, actually, you can listen to this if you want to. You don't have to come on YouTube and watch me do my tricks. I mean, I suggest that you do highly, because sometimes who knows how I'll show up on YouTube. I mean, I can't wait for OnlyFans to start. I might show up topless. Who knows how I'll show up on YouTube. I'm just kidding. Welcome to episode 102 of 21st Century Rocker Mom Podcast with me, your host, Tanny Candler. I'm here hanging out with you for another bi-weekly special of what I'm up to. I don't know. Slide into my DMs. I've got some rude fucking DMs lately. They're funny. I'm going to talk about them later. I think they're so funny. I'm not going to throw anybody under the bus. I know you think that I'm going to throw your ass under the bus, but I'm not. Because you know what? I know that people are human and have hormones. We're going to talk about that later too. So I'm going to talk about polygamy and polyamory and having more than one person in your bed at the same time. What am I setting you up for? I got some hot sauce. We're just going to get hot. I think today. I don't know. Well, it's hot here today. I'm talking about booze, broads, tattoos, yacht rock. Yacht rock saves lives. Yacht rock and listening to things like that, like Seals and Crofts and like Michael McDonald and things like that, and like the Eagles. Those things are getting really big again. And young kids, I'm hearing, are like in their 20s, are listening to yacht rock. And they have like a hashtag that says yacht rock saves lives. It's funny because that's like the kind of shit that I've been writing. I don't know if it's my age and what I grew up on, but fuck, yacht rock is my jam, man. I fucking love it. Like the instruments that I'm putting on my albums and my demos that I'm layering on top of each other are something. Like, you wouldn't believe what I'm putting on. You'll hear it eventually. Anyways, writing adult rock is a cross between like adult contemporary yacht rock and like good old fashioned like rock and fucking roll, like giving it shit. So I love it. It's all amazing. I don't know. I was looking at something the other day, and I was looking at people that like follow each other on Instagram, and they were like people are like supportive of their partner's like journey and things. And I see this in a lot of different communities. And I've seen it in the bearded community. I've seen it in the music community. I've seen it in the art community. I've seen it just in regular, like, he this and she that, or Mr. this and Mrs. that. I find that, like, someone in a relationship will start a journey and the other person will assume their identity as well on, like, Instagram or social media and really support that person a lot and not really, like, go about their own self at all and, like, not do their own identity. And I think it sucks that people lose their identity when they do that. I was noticing that the other day, it's like a growing trend that it's happening a lot, especially on Instagram. I see it a lot, and it's sad. I think people need to get their own identities and put them out there and be who you are. I think it's cool. I think it's amazing that you're supporting your partner or your other person, but you also need to like show who you are, like showcase that, put that on display. I think it's cool. Be cool. I think it's cool. Now, the internet is a really weird place. I've been reading all kinds of stuff about like Megan Thee Stallion and stuff like that this week and what happened with Tory Lanez. And I'll tell you, if it hasn't been for the fact that like they're famous, the misogynoir would have went like without anything. It would have went under the radar, just like Tyrese Gibson. But if you shoot at someone's feet, yeah, you deserve 10 years in fucking prison. And people were like super surprised that he got 10 years. Tyrese Gibson got racially profiled at Home Depot. If he wasn't Tyrese Gibson, the police probably wouldn't give a shit. I'm just putting it out there. That's the way they are. They racially profile people too. So, I don't know. I think it's crazy. Racial profiling is nuts. It's nuts. Now, I told you I was going to tell you about sliding into my DMs. Now, I post a lot of racy, I guess, sort of pictures, like topless pictures with my shirt off, pictures that have like, you know, they're down to wherever, my belly button, I don't care. Things over my boobs, I don't care. I really am free with my sexuality like that because I mean, like, it's not a shocking sight for me. But some people think like, hey, that's asking for it. Like you're asking for, you're not asking for it. Like, your DMs are open. So if people send you a message, it's like, honestly, whatever. Like, to me, it's not a big deal. Other people get shocked by it. There's no shock value in it for me when I get a DM being like, hey, she loves the D. She does. Ask my partner. Like, you know what I mean? Like, it's not shocking for me. So there's no shock value in it. I'm a huge fan of being a hippie, and I'm a huge fan of love. So I don't care about that stuff. I said I was talking about monogamy and polyamory and polygamy and stuff like that. Not so much polygamy, more polyamory and bringing someone else into your relationship, and the thought about that in 2023 and why like polyamory is so big and so many people are bringing other people into their marriages, into their relationships. It's because they're not totally 100% fulfilled with their original like nesting partner, the person that they have settled down with, and maybe they want to have an emotional connection with somebody else, and they want to bring that to the table too. It might be a weird sex thing, I don't know. Depends what it is for you. Is there going to be feelings involved? Absolutely. Are you going to be jealous? Oh yeah. Do I practice polyamory? No. Do I agree with it? Absolutely. When you're doing it like the right way and people aren't getting hurt and stuff like that. People are having like conversations and they're talking to each other and they're keeping lines of communications open. Then I think polyamory is good. It's fine. But if it's not, it's cheating. You know what I mean? Don't go not tell anyone you're doing it. You know what I mean? Anyways, I am a part of the NonAlcoholic Community, so I got some stuff from Collective Arts that I'm going to show you later that I'm excited to show you about. They're one of the coolest companies ever. Also, I was reading about medical cannabis hot sauce this week. I'm going to try some hot sauce on the show as we gear up for me kind of getting to the Hot Ones charity challenge. I've been finding the Zen place this last couple weeks, trying to find somewhere in peace to meditate, to kind of chill things out, quiet things out in my head. I found a good place meditating. You know, I got the Calm app on my phone. I suggest you get the Calm app. It's the best. I love it. Oh, and then I thought, why do we love tragedy porn? I was thinking about this the other day. And we love tragedy porn. It's something that's like, have you ever made a mountain out of a molehill? That's tragedy porn. It's like something that's being exacerbated that's not actually as bad as it is. And we're drawn to it. We're addicted to it on the news. We watch every last drop of tragedy porn that we can. And I don't know why. We do it on the internet. We do it on Instagram. We do it on Facebook. We do it on all the social media platforms, like I say. But now I'm about to threaten you with a good time. If you watch, and just like that, the Sex and the City reboot, like obviously, it's a spoiler alert. It's a spoiler alert because I'm about, and just like that, because like spoiler alert, I'm over the moon at the fact that Carrie and Aiden are back together because like they're like my favorite couple like of ever of life, and I'm happy that Carrie and Aiden are back together. And this is the part where, people are about to get dragged. I think Carrie might be the worst television girlfriend that's ever existed. Like, she's so fucking mean to Aiden, and she has been, like, in the history. Like, let's look backward into her, like, her love with Aiden. She's cheated on him, lied to him, fucked him over while she's, like, he's doing the floors in her apartment. Like, Carrie, you've done the dirty on Aiden. He's still so nice to you. I don't know. Not good. She's the worst. Aiden, not too swift. Speaking of not too swift, Taylor Swift tickets went from like $90 to $3,000 in like 20 minutes. The Swifties are getting fucked over. And you know what I say? Blame capitalism. That's fucked. Face it. We don't like capitalism. Can we do it in a kind way is my question to you. I think we can. Tell me how. Tell me how you think we can. You tell me. I was explaining politics, 8-year-old politics, to my son because he was asking about them the other day. And so I had to explain to him all the isms, right? So I'm going to let you know in simple terms what I told him, and then I'm going to give his comments on the following. So democracy. What mom with the democracy? I said democracy is a form of government where people have the authority, or like they have the right to decide and kind of deliberate on laws. That's direct democracy. Or choose government officials to deliberate on laws and do so. And that's representative democracy. Mom, what's socialism? So that's an ideology or a thought process that aims to make people equal and generally focuses on the equality of wealth, similar and equal pay, housing, medical stuff, healthcare, education, those kinds of things. It's normally considered left-wing socialism because it aims to change society. I don't know why it's considered lefty. Like, change is good, you know? Communism. Mom, what's communism? Well, communism was derived from Karl Marx. It advocates class and a class kind of war that leads to a society in which all property is publicly owned by the government and each person is worked and they pay them according to their abilities and their needs. It opposes a liberal democracy and capitalism, and it wants a classless system. Everyone is supposed to share the wealth that they create and that they accumulate together, and everyone's supposed to share everything. If those things are executed properly, that's how those work. I also explained to him that when any of these methods and systems of government work are done correctly and not cruelly and they're not forced, they work, whether you agree with them or not. Any of them done correctly and not corruptly work, but you have to do them properly. That's the thing. And his comments were, Mom, I'm definitely a socialist with a little twist of commie. I had to leave the fucking room. I was laughing so hard I didn't know what to do. A socialist with a twist of commie. Okay, I'll take that. Oh my God. I couldn't get air. I was laughing so friggin' hard. I didn't know what to say. He's so funny, but like, that was what like an 8-year-old's thoughts were on politics. So I think that's pretty funny and telling. Either this kid really listens when I talk, or he's hiding his real age somewhere deep down inside him. I don't know. He's very much like me when it comes to things like social justice, equality, inclusion. I'm progressive, baby. Now with progress, there's always the opposite. And I hate this white lady trash word. However, I have to use it because it's the only way I can like describe the situation. The word is woke. Woke, woke, woke. I like to think that my kids are more woke and I'm more woke than we were before. Like, we're just getting more woke. It's better for us, you know? And above all, I think it makes me a better person. It makes other people better. And it teaches my kids to stand up for themselves. Even if you're standing alone, to stand up for yourself and stand up for what you believe in. If you're the only person standing, and me and their dad, we kind of like instill that in them. We tell them that's your thing. You know, you do that. You let your freak flag fly. Do what you want. Because I'm a child of, you know, semi-hippies. My dad was a total government-hating flower child of Frank Zappa, and my mom is a disco queen who's pretty easygoing, and I'd say is kind of like a 90%, like is like a go-with-the-flow kind of type, like all the time. It's just whatever. My mom's pretty go with the flow. But I found out how adaptable and liberal my mom was when I had to tell my mom that, like, I'm pan. That was actually funny. It's like totally, like, she was cool with it and shit. And then, so I found out at the same time that, like, she didn't understand what it meant. So I explained that, like, being pan is like books. I'm like, remember when you were little and, like, I was little and, like, you were younger and I was younger? And she's like, yeah. And I'm like, well, it's like, remember how you told me how to not judge a book by its cover and never judge a book by its cover? It's what's inside that counts. I'm like, yeah. I'm like, it's like books. Pansexuality is like books. I don't care what's on the cover. I don't care if it's flashy or whatever. There's a crazy dragon or some shit on it. It's about the story and it's what's inside the book that counts. It's about forming different kinds of emotional relationships and connections with people. And that's kind of what it's about. And that's how you are attracted to somebody. She's like, oh, okay, I get it. So at first, she and my sister, like, for a matter of like a little while, thought it was like, I think, a weird sex thing. I think they just thought I just wanted to have sex with lots of different people. And it's not that at all. And my sister, I think, still thinks it's a kink. My mom gets it now. My sister still thinks I'm just a sexual dynamo. A sexual dynamo. She's not wrong. She's not wrong at all. Kink to me is what kind of porn you like, which my sister asked me about also, and I've talked about this. My sister did not like my answer, which was gay man porn. Gay men having sex. I enjoy gay men having sex. I think it's great. She was shocked more than anything, and she would not reveal her kink to me at all. So I was like, what the fuck is going on here? So, because I know what's going on, and I know what her kink is. We're kids. Kids are curious, and they want to know things, and they want to know things about texture and color and all kinds of things. Kids are touchy-feely. They want to know stuff. So we had a Labrador Retriever, and he was blonde fur, and so was his wiener. She wanted to know if they matched. So one day she was petting the dog's dink with her foot. And so I caught her. So I called her doggy dink toucher. So I know that the reason she won't tell me what her kink is because hers is bestiality. Down the farm, down the farm, down the farm. Oh my God. Sweet. That's hilarious. Anyways, speaking of sex and gay fashion, my 5-year-old had an amazing comment and observation not too long ago. And it was like about last week, the week before, as Rob had to do some filming in Ohio, Columbus, I think it was, for PowerCon. He was there with some colleagues to do PowerCon, which is like it used to be a He-Man sort of convention, but now it's just the biggest toy convention, I think, in North America. And so we had to do some filming there. And he went with his filming partner. Like, how do I put this, like, without sounding like they're totally, like, fucking in love? Who am I gonna kid? They're fucking in love. They love each other. It's a I love you, man kind of friendship. It's like they love each other. It's good. He's a good friend. He's a stellar human. I'm friends with his wife, like his partner. So it all works. They're amazing people. So my daughter casually says, when Daddy sees Uncle Tater and they see He-Man in real life, they're going to kiss in real life because they're boyfriends. This is what my 5-year-old said. I was just like, and so I messaged his wife on Facebook and had to tell her this, right? Because it's so fucking funny that our daughter would say this, and it's so fucking hilarious. Because I'm always they're probably doing smelly boys stuff. That's always my comment to everything. It's just funny shit. So she says they're boyfriends, and I think I'm just so I had to tell her, I was like, dude, Dad's not Pan, Mom is, but Dad's not. Which she understood right away. She was like, oh, okay, I totally get it. You like this, but Dad likes, that or whatever. So my kids are they get it. It's good. I'm glad my kids now know you got to be open age appropriately with your kids. That's what can I say. You got to be really open with your kids. Oh my God, I have random notes here in my podcast, and it's whatever happened to the word hooker? Because we use sex worker now, or we use prostitute or woman of the night or whatever, gigolo, escort, whatever. But whatever happened to the word hooker? The only time I honestly hear the word hooker is on cop shows when there's a dead hooker down in the alley. That's the only time they use it, when they're deceased. I think that's disrespectful, because at one time, being a hooker was the best Halloween costume fucking going. What are you going to be for Halloween? Your parents would be like, what are you going to be for Halloween? You'd be like, a hooker. What? A hooker. And they'd be, what? You'd be a hooker for Halloween. Every time you go as a prostitute for Halloween. People would not love it, but you and your friends would show up at the door dressed in your skimpiest outfits, start asking for candy. People gave it to you. And then they gave it to you for dressing like that. Forget about dressing like a hooker. I can't dress like a hooker. It's not the 90s anymore. It was a fun time, but we were certainly not woke. We're certainly not politically correct. Forget all about that 90s stuff. I gotta dress nice and not like a hooker for the Toronto International Film Festival for TIFF. I don't know who's gonna do my hair or do my outfit completely yet, but I have to go to that, and it's a red carpet event. I have to dress nice. I don't know if I should Billie Eilish it up and wear an oversized jumpsuit with lots of ice and bling bling, or not. I don't know what to do. Oh, what can I say? What can I say? My friend, speaking of Billie Eilish and bling bling and being all girlied out and stuff like that, a bunch of girls I know went and saw the Barbie movie, and they brought their kids with them. And there was a girlfriend of mine, and she asked me what I thought about it. And I said, with the age of her kids, I said, don't bring them, because I know how she is. And so what'd she do? She fucking brought them. And what'd she do after that? She fucking freaked out because at the end of the movie, Barbie finds her JJ and is talking about her vagina and going to the gynecologist and stuff like that. And she freaked the fuck out because her kids, like, they don't talk about, like, private parts and stuff at home. They don't know parts and stuff like that. I'm just like, what the fuck? Like, be open with your kids. They need to know about this shit. So, anyways, I remember when, like, that movie is huge. Like, it's grossing billions of dollars. I remember when Ben Shapiro, that, you know, that really major, like, conservative guy, said that, like, Barbie was going to tank because it's a movie about being yourself and it's such a liberal movie that fuck that, it's going to tank, it's going to be horrible. That movie can tank anytime now, Ben Shapiro. I'll wait. I'm waiting. This is me waiting. This is me waiting for the movie to tank. This just goes to show you that we'd rather complain, literally, than take any responsibility and action whatsoever. It's self-serving and it's tragedy porn. And like I say, as a society, we're addicted. It's making the mountain out of the molehill, like I said. It's essentially the same thing. It's blowing a situation that could be looked at as negative in a more like negative direction, making it more negative than it actually is. It's overinflating tragedy or supposed tragedy. It's to make it more interesting, more newsworthy, more salacious, more eye-catching, more good for your platform. What's it going to do to improve your station? What's tragedy porn going to do for you? What's it going to do? Things get spun in whatever direction they need to be. You could likely be convinced that if you sat there long enough and probably listened to the bullshit and the thought long enough, that the world's flat or the moon's a projection in the sky that's put there every night with some guy in an LED bat signal, like Batman in the sky. People love to put their own unique spin on things as a war cry for attention. People love it. They love it. And however, through all of this, one thing rings true. A lot of tragedy porn and even conspiracy type sort of things, conspiracy theory stuff, it's all opinion until it's proven. Was it really a tragedy that something, happened? Or did the media explode with negativity, therefore forcing it down your throat to make it feel like a tragedy and make it tragedy porn? Make you feel really bad about it. Ooh, uncomfortable. Opinions are like assholes and everyone's got one, or 5. It's so funny to see the evolution from opinionated things. The people pontificate fucking everything now. Literally everything. They're on their milk crate about this and that and the other thing. For instance, my mom knows this person that is, and she knows it's like that person. She knows this person that is a flat earther. They're a conspiracy theorist. They're that kind of person. And they think that we're all secretly hiding a race of subterranean lizard people. Vaccines are going to kill you, even though this child, like this person's kids, like they're multiple kids. I think they have like 5. They're all vaccinated. Just saying. They think that the earth is flat and that Donald Trump is Jesus and he's coming back on a dinosaur to save us all from Hollywood's biggest pedophile, Tom Hanks. I'm talking Woody in Toy Story. You got a friend in me. I know his name's Woody, but goddamn it, he's not a pedophile. It's Tom Hanks, for fuck's sakes. He's not a lizard. Jesus Christ. He thinks there's 6 races of aliens that walk among us. He's something. I've heard lots of shit, and believe me, so has my mom, because she's one of my parents, so obviously she's heard lots of shit from me. But this is like tore up from the floor up. This is nuts. My mom indulges like my late night munchies and my banter after I have my special medication, whatever the fuck I do in the garage. I get pretty loose. I get really chatty. I go down the rabbit hole. So we had a chat about this person the other night. And she was staying over and the kids were asleep. So we had a talk about this person. And she very politely put it that this person is lovely and all, but thinks that they've like lost their shit. Like they've lost it. They're gone. Like it's just a little bit, I was a little bit stoned. So of course I'm like fucking dying when she's telling me that they've lost a little bit because she's being polite about it. I'm like, I think they're fucking crazy, but no word of a lie. This person sends her a fucking Facebook message. Her phone's off, like the bing's off, at 2 a.m. about an Elvis sighting. Fuck, man. Block and delete. I taught my mom it was time to teach her about the unfriend and block and delete thing on Facebook, that button. She's too nice to even say anything. So I told her to ghost his ass. Then I had to explain ghosting his ass to her. And that wasn't anything, and it wasn't not like catfishing, because she asked if ghosting was like catfishing, which it's not. Speaking of fishing, I've been fishing for beards, because on this segment of beards, bitchin' and blueberries, ooh, I guess that's beer. I had a lot of berries this last week. We had Love and Antioxidants Day at the farm earlier this week. We went out to the blueberry farm and I was giving out beard oil and beard butter and beard products there. I had a good time, found lots of beards, had lots of friends, found lots of bearded buds. I was on the hunt for beards, like I say. A lot of first timers, which was really cool, who had never used beard oil before or had underused beard oil. And I napped 2 virgins and a novice. Boom! Shaka laka laka laka, a noob. As for the month of August, I've continued on with random acts of beardness. You guys have been getting free things in your packages. And if you haven't heard me talk about this and why I do it, here you go. This is why I've had a lot of random kindness given to me, especially as of late, so I'd like to return it in the form of any way that I can. So this is one way that I can. And one thing we often lose sight of is our self-care and taking care of ourselves and realizing how important we are and realizing our value. So that is random acts of weirdness and why I give out free stuff. I'm giving out to people for their hair. I give it out to people for their beards. It's whatever you got going on. It's nice to know, and it makes me happy and it puts a smile on my face that you're helping someone's value and your self-worth and confidence. And that's everything to me. I've been doing more customs, like I say, than ever. It's been crazy. I said the other day there was like raining customs and it was going crazy with customs and customs were going wild. I'm serious. And I think it's great because it's busy and it's challenging, but it helps you hone your chops. The more customs that I do, the better I get at it. And I've done over 100 now. 100 fucking customs. That's a lot. That's a lot of customs. So I say I've definitely honed my chops since November when I've been open. But obviously I've been dinking around since before that. Like, it's like when you pitch amazing with your right hand, you keep at these things. You pitch amazing, like amazing with your right hand. Like there's no way you could do it better. So you know what you do? You practice with your left hand to make sure that one pitches like your right hand. You pitch it perfect as well. You want to make sure you do amazing with both. Like I say, if you use it, you don't lose it. But if you don't, it's gone. So don't stop just because you think you're already fantastic. Keep going and keep honing those chops and keep getting better. The only way to advance your game, to stay in your game, is to be in the fucking game and play the fucking game. That's what you gotta do. I got 3 new oil and butter releases that are coming out, and I say like I got a new buttercream product, which is all over the body product. You can put it anywhere you want, Night, for this product. I might be shooting myself in the foot here because Rob's saying that he might love it more than the butter and oil in his beard. He likes it so much and it keeps his beard so soft. That might be the only product that you need. And if it is, fucking awesome. Good for you. You found something that's one thing that works for you. If it's a one step that you can do and that's easy for you, fucking do it. Maybe I'm shooting myself in the foot. I don't know. The fall scents are fucking amazing. I'm so excited to bring them to you and bring them out because I'm excited about them myself. Plus, I'm so proud of this formulation. It's superior. It's literally for everyone. And like I say, it is put it anywhere you want Night for this product. All the time. Check it out around September. It'll be out in September. I used to have a guitar player. This reminds me of this. And she remarked to me once, just after a set one night, after we played at a bar downtown. We're packing up to leave and she's standing up with her gear and her boyfriend's not in earshot and she says, well, I'm out of here. You know, the bar's closing, the show's over. And besides, it's put it anywhere you want Night. For me. My guitarist and I and my drummer and I, we all kind of like looked at each other and we were like, what the fuck does that mean? Like for a girl. Because like she was female identified. She had a boyfriend, man boyfriend, whatever. I had no idea what it was. Now I'm more woke and educated and I get it, which is funny. But I didn't at the fucking time. I was not quite woke, but I figured it out. Oh my God. I figured out how to make some killer hot sauce too as I've been practicing for my charity show. I picked up some hot sauce here in preparation. So I picked up this Big Dog smoky hot sauce. This is actually like a smoky dog hot sauce. It's from like St. Thomas, which is just down the road from me. And so it's local and it's rhubarb and strawberry and hot sauce and habaneros and things. I'm going to try that. And then I also picked up things from my own hot sauce garden because y'all know I have one, right? So I made some mean and green hot sauce with pickles and olives in it. It's like a tapenade / hot sauce. It's going to be really hot because it's got some really hot Indian chilies in it. So we're going to try those out because I've been practicing, like I say, for my charity thing. We're going to check that out. Rob brought up because of my charity thing and me eating Taco Bell and hot things, because Taco Bell is like my bitch. I'm addicted to it. Like Billie Eilish said, like food is such a hoe. It makes you do things that you don't even want to. Like it takes control of you. I got this thing from Collective Arts. Like I said, I ran into my friend the other day. I got to show you this. Before I have hot sauce, I'm going to need a drink. And Collective Arts definitely has the best brewing, because when I used to drink alcohol, I used to drink Collective Arts, but now they have some noddies. And this is a midday mule, like a Moscow mule. This is not a Moscow mule cup completely correctly. It's not the right color. But I'm going to put that in there, and I'm going to have it for my hot sauce here that I'm going to enjoy with y'all. But I ran into my friend. Smells lovely like lime, and it's so bright. I ran into my friend, and she is a representative for Collective Arts, and she gave me a whole handful. She just started giving me handfuls of non-alcoholic drinks that I really appreciate, because I do not drink the alcohol, but I definitely drink non-alcoholic stuff, so I'm excited. Like, it's so good. So we got to chatting, and I told her about my alcohol sobriety, and I was coming out of the weed store, which is funny, because I can have pot for my problem with my head, and she's a rep. And so she gave me, like I say, these naughty samples, and it's really nice, because sober does not necessarily equal boring. I always say I'm sober from alcohol. I'm 4 years sober from alcohol. So she gave me these. I'm not even close to boring, dude. So like that's all you can do. I gotta try this hot sauce. So first I'm gonna try this blueberry one. I'm gonna crack it open. I'm gonna see what it's like from St. Thomas, Ontario, which is down the street. It's a little bit thin, I will say that. So I'm gonna be careful with it that I don't spill it anywhere. But thin hot sauce, I've had plenty of thin hot sauce. I like that there's a restrictor cap on it. It's like a dropper cap. I'm gonna put it on a vegan chicken nugget. I like that you can squeeze it. It's awesome. I like the heat on it. It tastes the tartness of like the strawberries and the rhubarb together with the habanero pepper. It's not overly hot. It's supposed to be pretty hot, but heat doesn't bother me. Now, I'm not gonna have a drink of anything before. Maybe I should cleanse the palate. Okay, cleanse the palate. And the Midday Mule from Collective Arts is absolutely like refreshing. It's not too sweet, because that's what I'm always afraid of. Non-alcoholic beverages tasting like juice. That's not. It tastes like a Moscow Mule with like the sting of booze in it. It's great. So now I'm gonna make the mean and green hot sauce that I made with the Indian chilies, and I made it with pickles, fermented garlic, fermented onions, pickles, olives. We're gonna put a lot on there, because I think it's going to be pretty hot. I put jalapenos in this. I put habaneros in this. I put these red Thai chilies that I had in it. It's kind of a mishmash of everything. It's hot. But you know what? It's nice. It's balanced. It's something you can have probably like every day. It's hot though. I appreciate the heat. Something you might have seen on my Instagram this week was, I know Victoria's Secret. Girl, you wouldn't believe that she's an old man who lives on Ohio, making money off of girls like me. I was talking about Victoria's Secret and how it was literally made up by a dude. And talking about body issues and how everyone kind of in the 90s had a body issue, because we looked at Cosmopolitan magazines and 17 magazines, and we looked at the models like, you know, Chrissy Taylor and Nikki Taylor and Chrissy Turlington and Shalom Harlow and Cindy Crawford, and everybody kind of looked the same. Now you see a pregnant model on the front of Cosmo. You would have never seen that. Or a really thick Latino woman. Or a woman of color that's actually like doesn't look like Naomi Campbell or Tyra Banks or something. You see Lizzo on the front of like Cosmo. That would have never happened in the 90s, because we all had this like beauty standard that we had to like look up to. It was like an imagined beauty standard. So you can imagine being a kid in the 90s and beauty standards being tough because you want to look like a Cosmo cover. Now, I said last week too, I was attractive, like Tina Turner said. I agree. I've never called myself beautiful or I've never called myself pretty. Never will I ever call myself either of those two things. But I will definitely say that I'm an attractive person. I know how to be attractive. I know how to use my qualities of attraction and the laws of attraction to my advantage, and I will. And that's what you do when you have them. Why not? If you got it, flaunt it. If you got to be dumb, you got to be tough. You fall down, you just got to get back up. With all of the standards and the beauty standards that I grew up with in the 90s, it's so refreshingly cool that every size and shape is on a Cosmo cover these days. And on 17 too. Instead of women's representing and female presenting magazines making money on body issues and destroying any self-love people have for themselves, we're seeing trans people on the cover. Like, it's amazing. It's growing up. I think that seeing what I saw on the front of magazines was fucked. It really screwed me up in the brain. I don't like it. I'm just going to say it. Like, we're around the same age, most likely, you and me. And if we are, you likely probably suffered an eating disorder if you were a girl around, teenagehood, or had an eating problem around then. I'd say because now we let others dictate how we feel about ourselves. Then and now. We still do. When it comes to reality, like, we're lovely. We're just fine as we are. We need to focus more on loving ourselves more than just comparing ourselves and measuring ourselves to impossible standards and other people's Instagrams and their reels and their social media platforms and whatever. We're drawn to that shit. It's terrible. I'll tell you what year we're in. We're in the time when a DoorDasher can bring you your fucking breakfast in an interesting Frankencart bike that's like has a lawnmower engine on the back of it and it's like really zippy and loud. Did y'all see that guy in my stories? He's fucking crazy. Oh my God, that thing was fast as fuck because I double dashed it and he was here faster than the guy in the car. Ha! That's amazing. That's amazing. So I went and I flagged him down. I tossed him a $5, epic, just for being epic. I mentioned priming my system for hot sauce in the charity challenge. And like another challenge I'm always trying to do is not sing because I have a friend who tells me that I'm always singing. And she said that you need to have a challenge where, Tanya, you don't sing. I was like, I can do that. She's like, without like reading lyrics or like having lyrics from your brain. I'm like, I'll just try to have lyrics from my brain. She's like, do a song that's really singy. Do a song from a musical. I'm like, okay, fine, I'll do Grease. So she said she wanted me to do it like Shatner like style. So I'm going to try to do like You're the One That I Want. So here we go. Without singing. I got chills. They're multiplying. And I'm losing control. Because the power you're supplying, it's electrifying. You better shape up. Ooh, 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 because I need a man. See, I started singing. Every freaking, yeah, she wins the bet. Anyways, every freaking time. It's not going to happen. I'm impossible. Let's just face it. I'm glad we can come together every week and enjoy this therapy session and this craziness together. We can just come out and just be whoever we are and let our freaks flies. I know that's good for you. It's good for me. Let it out. Let all that stuff that's out that's been hanging around in your cobwebs and your skeletons in your closet that's been hanging around there. Let it fly out. Let it come out to me. I don't care. I appreciate your company and your kids and your conservative friends will appreciate your earbuds because they won't want to fucking listen to my shit. Until next time, have a Bud Light. Be kind. Be cool. Be courteous. Go punch a Nazi in the face. Have your pet spayed or neutered. So long. Farewell, I'll be to saying goodbye. I love to sing. Like, I always love to sing. You know where you can find me. You can hit the link in my link tree on Instagram. You can find it automatically. But you can find me on Instagram at 21st Century Rocker Mom. You can find me on TikTok at the same, at 21st Century Rocker Mom. You can find me on YouTube at Tanya Candler Channel. You can find me anywhere, like you stream your podcast with 21st Century Rocker Mom. And you can find me here every other week. I'll be here with you, hanging out, and we'll be podcasting. Let's chat. I love you. Be good.